Now we are. We're live!
I want to say, I'm already angry.
Oh
I don't
no.
know why I came out like I was going to start sounding like I'm a Jamaican, but I'm already angry. I
Manny,
literally
why
finished
are you?
work. I finished work 10 minutes ago.
That's impressive.
I'm
You're on
doing
the
a show.
streak. You're on a good streak.
I'm doing a show. People
Uh-huh.
best appreciate this shit.
Nah, it's gonna be trash. It's gonna be trash. But you know what, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. I am Marcus, the grand finale, and I guess I'm doing the introduction today because Manny has had enough. He's had enough.
First
And
of all,
that
I am Lord Man. I am the racially ambiguous Lord Manny had, but I'm very angry today. I'm going back to this thumbnail.
uh-huh.
Why are we on the title belts? I feel like this is very disrespectful.
Why would we be on the title belts? Where else can we go? I didn't want to be a light again.
Very disrespectful. And then I need to bring something up to you.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, so I got sent a message by my friend Nathan, who works with me
Okay.
at the same company, different departments, but same company. He texts me yesterday. Manny, I'm looking at your YouTube and I notice all the clickbait filth. I was like, I have only made one thumbnail outside of watch-alongs since September. So if it's anything recent, it wasn't me. Let's not pretend they, as in you, are following your lead. And then I took a screenshot of the last thumbnail I made, which was that one of Tony Storm as Mariah May doing that.
Oh yeah, that's a thirst trap.
Yeah, he responded, "Filth." Will someone think the kids?
Manny's out of line with his thirst traps today.
But yes, I have just finished work 10 minutes ago before 5 o'clock. I think you best donate to the show because my sanity is going out the window.
If you want to talk about donuts, yes, I did. It was a choice. It was a choice. Why? I don't know. I felt my skin blends better with the other title. That one's all red and shit. It's a terrible contrast. I'm not North American, even though it is the color of the podcast sweater.
You are North American. I have no business being on the North American
I
side.
don't know. I'm an American. I don't know my continents or countries or where
Unless
I'm at.
I'm reclaiming my land back.
Never.
Uprising is here. Led by a Filipino man.
Here comes Napoleon and his dog on his way. The modern Napoleon here to conquer America, to reclaim what's truly theirs. Honestly, if I was England or Europe or whatever, and I wanted to reclaim America, I would go on that stand. If you're gonna have a king like Donald Trump, it better be us, because that's what you got rid of us for. We're moving back in.
So,
Let the tea flow.
Before we get into Dynamite and NXT, apparently people are getting refused entry into America if they've badmouthed Donald Trump on social media.
Yes.
Now, I haven't badmouthed him on social media. I may have badmouthed him on this show, but they have to sift through hours, and I mean hours of content.
No, Manny, they'll wait till they get to me. They'll be like, oh, he said it. Close enough. 4 minutes. He's close enough. They're clearly a Venezuelan terrorist group. They are part of the Agua Caliente Clippers. They are not American at all, or they bat about Trump. And yes, I know the real name of the band. I just used the Clippers G League team as an example, though. But let's start the show, Manny. Let's move in. We're 5 minutes into this good banter.
Okay, so let's cover the breaking. It's not really breaking news, but Paige or Saraya announced that she's no longer with AEW. which is people speculating from a tweet she did a couple of days ago that she has interest of going back. I don't think we need her back at all.
I think she's going back at a Legends deal. I don't think she's coming back as a wrestler if she comes back.
She'd go back as a legend. She'd go back as a
Nah, she wasn't good at
Michelle McCool.
Oh, you know what? She would be good on that show.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that if she comes back, she's coming to do the Legends contract, maybe show up here and there. Not a significant role at all, because one, I mean, it's not. I'm not to disparage her. I don't know. Not much left in the tank. It's not left in the tank. And maybe she'll do a one-off match here and there. She'll yell, "This is my house."
Do it. If you're gonna do it, commit to it.
This is my house.
Exactly.
But you know, I can honestly see her showing up at SmackDown or Raw this coming week if she is free. Huh? In the crowd, or you know, maybe she'll do like one segment. She just walk out to the ring, and it's just setting up the Rhea Bianca EO situation, or
I tell you
something.
what she could do.
She could be special guest referee instead of Bianca this week, because that's ridiculous.
I watched the Raw podcast they do with Bootleg John Moxley, Sam Roberts, and Megan Morant. I think
Life Writer.
Megan Morant. Megan Morant is rubbish.
Oh.
Rubbish.
So you're saying she could bring what was that show on Fox?
Oh, Backstage. WWE Backstage.
Yeah, she could bring that energy to the WWE Raw Talk or whatever it's called. Yeah, I've never even seen Raw Talk.
It's a bit more fluid. It's a bit more free speaking. Like even Sam Roberts brought up the whole relationship with The Rock. Like, why hasn't that been mentioned yet? Kind of thing on that little podcast on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more free flowing, and I think it would be better for her to be on that rather than Megan Morant. Megan Morant is not. I don't know if she actually likes that wrestling, but the way she speaks, it gives the impression that she isn't.
Yeah, I can see her getting the Legends deal and then ended up on like one of the many busted open shows that comes on in the middle of the week. Join Bully and Mark Henry and Dolph Ziggler and I think Thunder Rosa and Mickey. It's like 300 people on that roster.
I think Corbs was on there recently.
Yeah. Like, they just be throwing random people in there. It's like, oh, yeah, you hosted this week. All right. So I can see that happening. But, who knows? Speculation is out there. It's running rampant. She doesn't have ill feelings toward WWE, according to the last clip, so I can see it happening. Whatever happened at AEW just seemed like it wasn't worth anybody's time or money. Like, nothing happened. The Outcast was a flop. Her coming in really didn't do anything for AEW. So...
It didn't, but she actually got TV time for certain people that probably wouldn't have got TV time at the time.
Yeah, she made Harley Cameron. She got Harley Cameron a lot of TV time.
She didn't necessarily make her, but she got Harley Cameron some TV time.
Yeah,
for people to actually see how talented this woman is. I think she never went there to be a star, is her words, and I don't think she was a star at any point. No. She got to become champion in England, and effectively dropped the title within, I think, a couple of months. So she got to achieve that, but like in essence, she was never really the star in that whole thing.
No, but you know what? I think for her, the benefit was just to be able to come back due to her injuries with I think it was head and neck. And all the drama that circulated around her and backstage stuff. The feeling of coming back, similar to the way Edge came back and Christian came back. Not Big E!
That's unnecessary.
So what? That's the new they would say to him. But she got an opportunity to come back and relive her dreams. But I can see her coming off and do some one-offs here and there. And then it'll be, you know, just like kind of like Trish. Thank you, Trish, for coming back every now and then. Not really doing too much. But that's that story. You ready to move into the reviews? Which one are we doing first?
Oh, well, let's just cover this, and then it actually brings us into AEW. Do you think Ricochet actually paid for fireworks at his wedding or planned it? to happen when another event with fireworks was arranged. I mean, he seemed cheap.
Considering that man's outfit was let me get that Dr. Evil outfit.
Nah, he looked like one of those Chinese waiters. Like he stole their outfit.
Whatever the outfit is, I believe that man paid for that pyro with his own money. If not, Tony Khan did it himself. Like, here's a wedding gift. I got you pyro. Cause I'm sure Ricochet's making good money. I don't think he's not. I know he's making millions. He's probably in the 3 to 4 million range. That's probably what Tony's paying him.
He's probably had to fund Samantha Irvin's music career.
That's not that expensive.
Which none of us have. I've not heard no hits out that. No hits.
Well, you've heard more Nikita Lyons than Samantha Irvin.
We all heard more Nikita Lyons, and we all are worse off for it.
I believe she's the part of the de-evolution of Earth. This is the beginning. Nah, but all music is like that. You know what? Honestly, I would say this about Nikita Lyons. Her music is on par with modern music for me. It's on par. Something I would never listen to. I would never listen to. The quality is that bad on both levels. Everybody step up their game. All right, but we're moving into Dynamite, and Dynamite starts off with a squash match with Kenny Omega versus Vanilla, Blake Shelton, Christian. Kenny runs roughshod through him, only for Speedball Mike Bailey to come out and cut one of the most charismatic promos I've ever seen in the history of Dynamite. And Kenny brought that same energy. Then Ricochet came and just said, boom, I'm blowing this out the water because I'm going to show a pre-tape interview. And that was the segment. And I thought, man, this is one of the worst microphone segments in the history of Dynamite.
I didn't think that. I saw Kenny Omega and I was like, Kenny, come on. You're better than this.
I know, right?
You're better than this. Come on, Kenny.
And I'm going to add, I think the segment would have been fine if the match was just Ricochet versus Kenny. I think it's a top tier main event match. And this is something you need to see. This is box office. Because I believe they're two of the most talented people in wrestling in the ring. Mike Bailey is talented, but he brings it down a level. Because I look at him and go, Ralph Macchio?
I don't even think that. I just look at it. I'm pretty sure I've seen you in a dive bar somewhere.
I just I've been saying this the entire Mike Bailey since I've known him, whether he's TNA or any other indie or whatever. I just don't see it. I don't see it at all. And he's all right in the ring. He's talented, whatever. But you gotta have some type of look, something where I can go, that's money right there, something I can get behind. That's my beef with Mike.
That whole segment, the match, the talking points, I was just like, Kenny's better than all of this. Well, why is he doing this?
Yeah, it is a triple threat match, which you know I'm sick of. Like, you can have, I'd rather get a tag match, Manny. I know you hate them. 6-man tags. I know you hate them. But I'm so sick of triple threat matches, and especially on this era of Triple H and WWE and Tony Khan, and they just both seem to just throw these multi-man matches out there when they can't figure out what to do with anything. Triple threat. Fatal 4-way. Triple threat. That's like we're just stuck in that. All right, we'll do a tournament. And then if all else fails, if we need a quick, Battle Royal.
Yeah.
So, moving on to the next big segment of the show. MJF oddly criticized the people of Minnesota, and I want to give him a strike.
Why?
For going for cheap heel heat. I'm going to say this for the record, man, and I don't know if anybody says. No one would say Prince is talentless. Ever. Ever. That's one thing you can't say about Prince. Whether you like his music or not. You can't say that guy has no talent whatsoever. That's absolutely the cheapest heat to get in Minnesota ever. I was just like, get out of here. Get out of here. You can't call Prince talentless. That's just cheap heat. And then, I don't know, in this segment, he calls out MVP, and MVP, they agree to kind of work together. Bobby gets upset, rips up the card. Yada yada. I don't know who I'm supposed to be rooting for in this segment, as MJF is a fool for criticizing Prince, and Bobby is being an old bitter black man in a nice leather suit, ripping up a card like a child.
I had problems with this in the first place. I don't like MJF referring to him as Montavious. And I don't like Bobby Lashley being called Roberto.
I like that touch, honestly.
I don't like it at all.
No one ever calls him those names. No one's ever called Montel Montavious Porter by his first name, if that's his real name. Bobby and Roberto is hilarious, though. But I don't understand, how is this conversation just happening now? He's been trying to recruit this man for 2 weeks. How is Bobby Lashley just now upset? I understand MJF has a reputation of being evil and quote-unquote the devil. But
isn't that the whole point of their argument in the backstage segment later on in the night when they go, you tell us to go on vacation.
Yeah.
And you're out here doing work.
I'm doing work because y'all need a vacation. Okay, I don't take time off, if he says. But you feel like this conversation would have happened within the 3 weeks of this recruitment.
Yeah.
I don't imagine the Los Angeles Lakers telling LeBron, hey, we're gonna add Luka Doncic. And then 3 weeks later, I don't want to have Luka Doncic, not ever. Not ever. It's already too late. We're so deep in this, it's too late. You could have complained earlier. The next segment on the show, we have some matches that happened. Just some one-offs that doesn't matter. Kyle Fletcher versus the only member of the Hounds of Hell's Brody King. Because they're never together. Never. Ever since they announced they were the Hounds of Justice or whatever. The Hounds of... Where are they the Hounds of? Hounds of Hell?
Ever since they had that video package that no one realized there was a dog in it. They have never appeared together.
They have never appeared together.
That was months ago.
Yeah. And Brody King, and Kyle Fletcher, two amazing talents. Honestly, in some world, this is for the Intercontinental, maybe the Atlantic or whatever the hell these titles are called these days, title. And these are top players, but this was just a throwaway match. I like these two guys. These are two really good wrestlers, and it just kind of ended. But this merged into the Powerhouse Hobbs versus Mark Davis, Eric and Manny's favorite wrestler, Mark Davis, who they have criticized for his look. Powerhouse Hobbs defeats Mark Davis as well. Manny, anything you want to talk about in those two things?
No, because Wes has put up some numbers and I have to fact check him.
Oh. So we'll go to the chat.
This didn't make any sense because then it went straight into another match and I was just like, I don't care.
Wes goes, I can't believe the last time I watched the whole episode of Dynamite. You don't really have to. Like, I'm just going over the talking points. There's a lot you can skip over. AEW has 932 wrestlers on the roster. That's not true. I think they're at 170.
They would have to do 311 triple threat matches, which checks out.
990 in the third. You gotta do parentheses first. That's why my math's up on this. So
they're called brackets, Marcus, parentheses.
They're called parentheses here.
This is why the school system's failing over in America. Parentheses.
We call them brackets or parentheses, but mostly we call them parentheses because please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, parentheses is first. You guys don't have that. You don't have PEMDAS over there, I don't think. We do that real math here.
You don't do proper math? I've seen the way some of you do math.
We do the math. I don't. I'm against it. In fact, I'm on a whole committee. I'm on the bomb committee, Brothers Against Math.
This is why he got fired.
That's Bam.
Because he can't do math.
Yeah, I can't do the maths. Brothers Against Math is where I start with. It's a group, we're a foundation, we're very small, but please donate in the comments. It goes to the same fund.
Yeah, donate to BAM.
Yeah. Brothers Against Math. We also have Brothers Against Science, Brothers Against History.
I haven't got my glasses on, but I read that as next tangent. Marcus does meth. Oh, that would be a fun episode.
We're just throwing math equations. It's terrible. Hey, I know my geometry because y equals mx plus b, and I have no idea what that even means. I just think that's the sum of a slope, right? I can't even remember what that's for, but that's burned in my head.
For a graph.
It's for the slope.
Slope of a graph.
Yeah.
Moving
on.
How did we get here?
I don't know. So Will Ospreay will be back next week. He's not here tonight. And then we get the confrontation for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Swerve calls out Mox, who used to be John Moxley according to him, and says, "You used to be the man around here. These people used to cheer you. They used to do this. You get behind, carry the company on your back. You were the man. I don't know who the fuck you are. You're so ashamed to be champion. You hide your title in a briefcase." Mox responds, "Nigga, please not."
I dare you to say that, Mox. I dare you.
I dare Mox to say it, but I felt like he felt it. The way he had his arms in the back. He was just... Mox cuts... I can't remember exactly what he said, but I was 100% behind this promo and him and Swerve, but I really enjoyed this segment. I thought this was the best segment of the night.
It was something along the lines of, you're the guy to carry the company. I see something in you, but I'm not going to give it to you. I'm not giving you the keys to the kingdom, kind of shit.
Yeah. And he was talking about everybody, these fat millionaires and these influencers and people want to be actors and fashion models. I ain't about that. I'm about the violence. And then Swerve was like, "I'm the most violent man." And Mox is like, "Bullshit, I took a knife to the back last week." And that wasn't even in the match. I took nails to the back later that day. So they went back and forth, and then Prince Nana is kind of threatened by Claudio. The Death Riders come out. Willow comes out. Marina comes out. We have
you stand in. You're Marina Shafir.
Yeah.
You stand on the apron. Willow stands there next to you with whatever it was, a bat, a pole,
lead pipe.
You afraid of her? I ain't afraid of Willow.
You ain't afraid of Willow with a lead pipe, man? Fuck, Manny. You gonna get your ass kicked. This is what I understand how people get their ass kicked now. Shit like that. She has a lead pipe. She has a lead pipe. She will fuck you up.
Willow's the most easiest person to distract. You show a picture of a nice cat or a dog, she'll stop.
Whew. I didn't know you were doing dirty tactics like that. Oh, dog. Give me that stick.
Get out of here.
Oh. Marina and Willow have a confrontation. We still haven't had a match or any type of setup of a match. The Death Riders kind of just flee away.
Has matches.
No, she just kind of looks menacing on the side. But that segment happened. I thought that was the best segment of the night. It was a complete 180 from the opening segment of Kenny and Speedball, or Cornball, as Ricochet want to call him.
I think this might be the comment of the day. I'm more afraid of Candice LeRae and a bland chicken than Marina Shafir.
She's got the chicken! She's got the chicken!
Oh no, it's got no seasoning.
It's so dry! There's no water anywhere!
What was this? Just boiled? What's it boiled?
What is it? No seasoning? Was there no more salt and pepper in the back? How are you making me thirsty and never want to eat again at the same time? The diarrhea hits early. Oh.
I don't think
then
my bowels, Marcus. I think that's being vomited straight away.
Also on the show, Jericho and I guess Bandito is having their Ring of Honor feud just in the background. There's dissension amongst the tree, the learning tree, and they sent them on a quest of some kind. I don't honestly remember what they did.
The quest being, we're going for the tag team titles to get the Hurt Syndicate, and then they were like, you know what, go away, win some matches first. Shut up.
Yeah, they stood on stage. They started talking to it wasn't the Hurt Syndicate. Who did they start talking shit to?
They talked to the Hurt Syndicate.
It was Hurt Syndicate. It was an MJF segment. It was, huh?
Yeah, MJF walked out.
Yeah,
and then they came out.
Yeah, then they started talking shit. Yeah,
and then they were basically like, win some matches first before you even attempt this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I missed that in the beginning. I forgot. 'Cause I just remember it happened, and I don't remember. I was like, when and where and why. Joe and Hook are in the back. They commit a crime and choke out Max Caster in front of Top Flight.
Max Caster deserves it.
He was just hanging out, Manny, and I didn't understand why this segment was on the show. We go to Top Flight, who's wrestling in their hometown. They fight some nobodies. They win. But apparently they're feuding with Action Andrade and Leo Rush. I thought Action Andrade was their boy. I thought AR Fox was on the out with them. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe I'm not watching enough Collision.
No, so basically, this feud has been going on for ages. This feud has been going on for ages.
It's been going on for ages. This is my first whip of it. Go ahead.
No, it was on Dynamite at one point. Maybe like 2 months ago or something when the initial turn on them. This was when Leo Rush and his boy were wearing jackets with those little weird spikes on them.
I do remember those.
Yeah,
fashionable.
Back then, and that's when this nonsense began. Has it been really followed up on anything? No, but it's happening.
Yeah, I mean, credit to them in the tag team division. Whatever's going on with that. Anyway, Cope is in the back with FTR. Dax tries to explain why he was upset. It's because Cope done took all the time. We lost focus with this Death Rider shit. We've been doing it for months for you, and we haven't gotten close to the tag team titles. And
I didn't ask you.
I never asked for your help. You never asked for my help? You son of a bitch. I know you asked for their help. You want to know why I know they asked for the help? Because when they were in AEW pulling up in pickup trucks to reviving tag team wrestling, Colt was getting his house broken into by Seth freaking Rollins and said, let me call Daniel to go handle this. That's how I know he called for their help with the Death Riders. So don't give me that shit, Colt. You a lying sack of shit.
Yeah, now they want titles. Get out of it.
Yeah, so now that they want to go for the trio titles, even though Dax wants to go for the tag titles, I think they need to turn on Colt right away. Just beat his ass. On the same sense, Cope's brother in storyline, and not storyline anymore, no longer canon, Christian Cage was missing tonight, but Nick Wayne has some words that's talking about planning, and looks like he's planning the hostile takeover, and he's probably going to turn on Christian.
And again, they've booked this thing for me not to care about.
Oh, Takeshita.
Do you care about any of that?
Which one?
Anything
I said right now?
Everything the patriarchy. Is it called the patriarchy? Yeah, the patriarchy.
Yes, you're 100%. Yeah.
Anything they've done in the last few months has rendered to be like, does anyone care? I don't care.
I think they had something in the beginning of the forming of this faction.
Yeah.
Now it's just like they may as well be the Dark Order.
The moment Luchasaurus or whatever they changed his name to,
Kill Switch.
No one cares.
Yeah. It's
Kip Sabian has added nothing to this group.
Yeah, they just seem like blundering idiots. He failed to cash in, and it's just it's been a waste of time. It's been a poor use of Christian. Yes, we could have criticized him for being old and whatnot, but at what point when he was the top heel in wrestling? He was the top heel in wrestling, and now look at him. It's just like, oh, and it's not only his fault. It's just the lack of TV time and development story time. I can only blame Tony for this one. I can only blame Tony. Takeshita defeated whose ass did he kick?
Briscoe.
Yeah, he defeated Mark Briscoe. And I think they need to continue to have him have these nice wins right here. Because I think All In should be Swerve versus Takeshita in the main event. I feel like that's box office main event.
Swerve? Wait, what are you doing? All In?
Yeah. I'm ahead, Manny. I'm ahead.
They ain't pulling no triggers on Takeshita to be in the main event.
You would go Takeshita versus Swerve for main event All In. And then you have Mercedes versus Athena All In. I'm booking All In ahead of Wrestle.
You're booking All In as if it's not in Texas. They ain't putting no black man versus a Japanese man as the main event in
What are you talking about? Black people run Texas.
No, they don't.
We do. We own all Houston. It's blacks and Vietnamese in Houston. And Dallas, come on, Manny. Every cowboy had 20 kids. We run Texas these days.
You don't, Marcus. You don't.
My family lineage is from Texas. That's why I'm so big. Oh.
That's not the reason why you're speaking.
Hey, don't you come up with your help. Don't come up here with no help. Don't come up here with no help. I went with geography, okay? I didn't come here in the health class. We went with the geography class. Everything's bigger in Texas.
You ain't in Texas.
It's my genetics are. My genetics were from Texas. I got big genetics. That's why.
Have you lived in?
I got very thick blood. That's why I'm fat. I got thick blood.
Have you lived in LA your entire life?
Yes.
Well, how can you say you're from Texas?
My genetics, man, it's science. It's science. My parents came over, you know. My dad's seed is from Tennessee.
Yes,
from Knox
that would only be fact if you grew up in Texas.
My genes did. My genes did. You know what? The
Texas.
womb I slept in. My mother's womb that I slept in. My grandfather, whose birthday, belated, post-Moore's birthday is today. Happy birthday, granddaddy. But it's from Texas. So I'm taking all of that. I'm taking the history. I'm taking it all. It's like when a wrestler goes into a different town. Like Chris Jericho, when he's in Canada, he's Canadian. When he's in New York, I'm in New York. It's the same kind of deal.
And you know what? Oh, it's Beyonce calling. She said, "This ain't Texas." Bullshit.
Exactly. I believe his genes are from Texas. There's no lie here. No lie whatsoever. So we get to the main event of Thunder Tits versus Megan Bayne and Penelope Superbad. Penelope Ford.
Thunder Rosa seems so disappointed in Tony Storm when she said the team was called Thunder Tits. Like, I had this t-shirt made.
Yeah, Thunderstorm is right there. It's the perfect name. And she's like, no, Thunder Tits. I'm just ruining it. The Megasis oddly pins Tony Storm, who I was a shoo-in. I was a shoo-in that Thunder Rosa was getting pinned.
No, I knew this was coming. I pinned the champion, so I get a title match.
Yeah.
You know, the typical wrestling rules.
Yeah, but I was thinking, she won, and then she get stared down for the title. But they went early with this. Do you have the Megasis being?
She made a point last week of this little pull apart with Tony last week to end Dynamite, and then they do the person pins. I don't know if she was named the number one contender at that point. But you do the person that pinned the champion, then you go, okay, is this going to happen at All In or Dynasty?
Dynasty, I believe. All In is in July.
I can't foresee Megan Bayne beating her for the title. I don't think they can. I don't think you can. I don't think they should do it.
I don't think you can justify it. I think Toni Storm's is in your top 3 biggest stars in your company right now. Yeah. It's it's her, Mox, and probably Swerve. Osprey.
I don't even think Megan Bayne said a thing on the microphone yet.
No, we've never heard Megan Bayne speak. I can't wait to hear her talk, and she sounds like this. Hi, Megan Bayne. It's just like, oh, what's that? There's no bass in their voice at all. She ain't tough. This Sunday, I'm gonna whoop your patootie. Don't even say ass.
Marcus has just made me want to watch Police Academy.
Yeah. Stop it! Oh!
I really want to watch Police Academy now.
Yeah. Manny, watching Police Academy ages you 10 years.
I don't care.
Because Police Academy is actually modern policing right now here in America.
Who would surprise you more on the microphone, Lara Vaquer or Megan Bayne? To be fair, Megan
Lara's
Bayne,
talk.
Because Lara, we know what we got.
Yeah. And it's not good. It's not good most of the time. Most of the time, it's not good. I don't say 90% of the time. Megan Bayne is winning this. Silence.
By not talking.
Yeah, silence is key. I'm sure she doesn't sound like Mickey Mouse or Goofy. Yuck. Yuck. Maxie, get over here. But that was Dynamite, Manny. What did you think of the show?
Given that I didn't watch all of it,
Hey, just like in a regular match, you didn't get all of it.
But I was able to talk my way through it. It makes it was a decent episode of what I've watched, and the explanation seems like it was a decent episode of Dynamite. But if it was something that to make me spend money for the pay-per-view, it hasn't succeeded.
Pay-per-view's next week, right? I think it's April 6th.
April 6th. It hasn't convinced me to spend money on this. Yeah. And I'm sure Swerve and Mox will be a good match, but it feels like this is a 2-week build to it, because this is the first interaction he's had with Mox, and it just seems so rushed. For a title match, I don't like that. I really don't like a rushed title match like that.
Manny?
Like, especially when it's your world title.
This has actually been going on for a month.
Yeah,
I know you may feel
it's been on for a month.
It's going fast. It's going fast because we had the Revolution, where Swerve became number one contender, and he also jumped on Mox and was like, man. And then I don't know what happened in the second week build. I don't think no one showed up to work.
I don't think anything's really been happening.
And then there was the Edge stuff. Yeah, you got a point. It hasn't been much build. It's because the Edge situation was still in the middle, or Cope was still in the middle of it.
I'm sure on the night they'll pull it out. It's just there's always that thing missing.
Yeah,
and it's a decent story, and that's not just for AEW. When it happens in WWE, I may give it some bias and say and go along with it, but like if it doesn't have a good story, there's no I ain't gonna be invested in it.
Yeah, I mean the world title is a one thing, but you have to really do it, because if this was the Coke feud where they were going back and forth and it seemed like everybody had to team up to take down Mox, but we already had that with the Coke situation, so how we going to do that with Swerve? It seems like a come down actually.
But there was more build to the Mox match with Cope for the first one, Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
And was it? No, it wasn't Double. Revolution. There was more build to that than there is anything from Business to Swerve. We got into a situation where pay-per-views are too close together, and I think AEW haven't really thought this one through by including that Mox match against Cope last week. Like, that didn't really need to happen.
Yeah, I think they need to get away from their monthly pay-per-views. Just at least do once every 2 or 3 months. These WWE's doing once a month and a half. This WrestleMania one's going for like 2 months. Like, just got space about. Less pay-per-views, I think, would be better for them.
Well, AEW started like that, but then the thing is, there needs to be a right balance. Maybe AEW run 6 rather than do one every month.
Yes,
because
7,
when they did 4, there was
too
long periods where the story would fizzle out before you even got to the pay-per-view. So, and the heat for the thing would fizzle out way before we get to the pay-per-view. So there is a right medium. I think AEW shouldn't be doing every month, given their rating, given their ticket sales. I think, I think they need to slow down a bit. They're basically trying to catch up with WWE when they really shouldn't. They should focus on being themselves, which at times they have, but it's just sometimes it feels like they're trying to catch up in a position where they're not going to for at least another 20 years if they're still in business.
I feel like AEW is running like the Three Little Bears and Goldilocks with the soup. With the this porridge is too hot, it's too cold, too warm.
Just leave Thanos on this soup alone.
I was gonna say Porsche, okay, Porsche. And it seems like they were in a situation where I just feel like they can never find the right balance of it. It's always a mixed bag of like if they do something similar to WWE, you go, that was too much like WWE. If they do something away from WWE, that was too far away from WWE.
Yeah.
It's never it's that medium ground where I don't want you to be WWE. I don't want you to attempt to be WWE. I just don't want you to go to that extra extent when I'm watching people die in the ring.
Yeah. Can we jump into NXT?
Let's jump into NXT, and I'm going to run through this really fast. This is not going to be a long show. Stephanie Vaquer defended both titles tonight. And just like I said last week, just like I said, Betty, she retained both of them. Retained them all. Retained it all.
Well, Marcus,
the only one ever.
I feel I'm gonna get some hate from Maurice, but his girl Jordan Grace, she has no business getting involved in this.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah, Jada may have destroyed her last week, but again, who the hell does she think she is? Walking in and trying to walk into a title picture? No.
She's won a couple of matches.
You just beat Roxanne. She's a first grade loser at this point.
The greatest of all time.
Now,
I've heard it from Booker T.
Get some notches in your belt. Win some matches in the big leagues.
And let me tell you this: Jordan Grace did nothing wrong that nobody else in every other NXT match do. Jump up on the apron for that distraction. Everybody's doing it. It's contagious.
Yeah, Jordan Grace distracted Jada, allowing Stephanie to counter the Hypnotic into a roll-up for the win.
But Fatal Attraction comes out. Oh yeah, I forgot you have notes.
Fatal Influence joined the beatdown until JC Jane delivered 3 running sentences.
I died laughing. I was like, this is the beatdown. JC, jump on her. Jump on her again, JC. Jump on her again. And I was like, y'all gotta do better than this. Y'all gotta do better than this. Y'all gotta take an ankle or an arm or something. Get a chair. Don't just say JC jump on her. I understand that was Piper Niven or Nia Jax. Or even Big Bailey from LFG or something like that. A large proportion of women. This is JCJ going, and I'm like, this isn't nothing. I can come back from this. JC couldn't do that if this was a regular match. She ain't getting the 3 on that.
Yeah, a 1 count. Trick Williams is mean once again to
nasty. He's a nasty. You know what Trick is? Trick, I didn't realize he could be this mean, but I'm loving mean Trick.
It's so mean. And then Javon promised to prove himself tonight. So we get Lexus King versus Javon Evans. The match was fine. Obafemi attacks Javon Evans. I don't know if he powerbombed him or if he just slammed him into the hardest part of the ring, but that was enough for Lexus King to win by count out.
Good dive onto the announce table, but I was second. The best dive of the week goes to Hank. Yeah. Hank went through him, man.
He landed on the table smoothly.
Yeah.
Like, I thought, if that was me, I would go, my back.
Yeah, I'm hitting this corner of the back and I'm going, ring the bell, stop it, get the doctors out here. Get the damn doctors out here.
The spirits
and give me an oxygen tank, because I'm tired. My back is blowing out, and I think this is my retirement. But I didn't think so when I originally heard about this dive, I was on my way home from work. Eric gives me a call. Oh, I called Eric about something. I forgot what it was specifically about. But he's watching NXT, and then he just goes, how about that dive from Hank? And I go, what? He's like, that's the only time. He's like, that's the only time I think Hank has ever impressed me. Ever. And I think it's the last time. This was good Hank this week.
So after the match, Dark State emerged in the crowd. Trick Williams accidentally hits Javon Evans amongst the chaos and a pull apart between Ober and Trick.
Did on purpose.
Trick then calls Javon Evans a distraction later on in the night, and then when asked about Dark State, he said, "That ain't my business."
Yeah, I mean that's a good way of saying. That's a good way of saying that is my business. You're the leader, Trick. You're the leader of Dark State. They're attacking everybody but you. They're attacking everybody.
Sure, he's the leader.
I'm sure he's the leader. I'm sure he's the boss.
I think the underboss is the boss.
Oh, Stacks?
Yeah, it was when Tony D wants to know who Dark State are. It was that moment where Stacks stayed behind with him and declared his loyalty to the Don. That was like, ooh, maybe Stacks is the actual top boss of the Dark State.
I'm gonna give Stacks a strike, by the way. So, Betty, let's say we grew up together. We've been friends our whole life. We jumped rope, we played basketball, tag, we fought, we have stories like they had Stacks in them.
First of all, we ain't girls. Why are we doing jump rope?
Jump rope is dope. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. We're jumping rope. I couldn't think of a game. I don't know why jump rope came in. But fuck it. We're double dutching. We're jumping in.
Your mama says, my mama says.
Yeah, we're about to get in there. Little patty cake, you know. We're bullshit. But that's the story that Stacks and the Underboss had. How you the under? Manny, we're equal partners in this. There ain't no underboss. If I picked you up and you were living on the street, then and I carried you, you could be my underboss or vice versa. But no way if we grew up together am I being your underboss. Fuck that. I know you.
I do have a strike too, and I'm hoping, and this is basis on you on a conversation you brought up on the show several times on this show, and it goes to Ricky Saints.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if you lived in your car and you had nowhere else to do. Everyone's done that. This is a strike.
This deserves to. I'm going to start giving this to the Gunther Speech Award. No one cares. No one cares if you tried hard. No one. I did laugh at this segment. Who interrupted him? God damn it!
Sean Spears.
Sean Spears.
With this line, you can always go back.
Yes. Like the shots took it, and then you get to Ricky on commentary in the match, and he's talking about all the Canadians. You know, he does have a bad history with Canadians. I don't think it was a shot at Edge with a line tried to allude to. Like, but I mean, he fits in the category, but it's not. I think he was talking about Ethan Paige and all the other Canadians on the main roster or NXT roster. But
yes, Ethan Page defeats Andre Chase. Spears takes out Ricky Saints after the match. What else are we missing out before we get to, Hank and Tank versus Tyson, DuPont, and Tyreek. I don't like Tyson.
Are you sure? You sure it's not Tyreek?
No. So last week, you know, after Hank and Tank got extreme.
Yeah.
And then Wesley and then Tyson and Tyreek, they were all in the back. They were all backstage. Tyson, the bigger one, the big boy of the group, made fun of Hank and Tank being body shamed him essentially, or called him fat in some way.
Yeah.
I was like, boy, you ain't better than them.
No.
I saw everything jiggle. You took your shirt off and everything jiggled.
Like a chocolate molten jello, just.
I was like, how dare you? How dare you?
Yeah.
Look at yourself before you criticize those.
Yeah, look in the mirror.
Look, they had the dignity to wear shirts in their matches.
You look like Devon today.
On a singlet.
Yeah. Or a doublet. Shit, at this point, a triplet.
But they did have a nice tag team finish. But someone who had a better tag team finish was Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley when they hit what they're calling the cemetery drive, which fits them perfectly. And it was basically like Dolan's weird like abdominal spin.
Reverse Mexican surfboard?
Something like that. Yeah.
Move, yeah, whatever.
Which came together with a double headbutt, which I was like, ooh, if only they were Samoan, they would kill a man.
You know, my main issue, if only they had any athleticism whatsoever, and it's mostly Gigi. I think it's time to let Gigi go, Manny. I was watching the match, and I thought she was the worst of the four people in the ring, and that's including the match with Jakara Jackson.
I didn't think she was that bad, although I wasn't fully paying attention.
Gigi's not good. She dove off the rope, slipped. There were so many different mistakes and just clunkiness to her that I was like, dang. But the finisher was nice. That's what I can say.
Finisher was nice. And they're on TNA going for the tag team titles.
Oh yeah. That's how all this started.
I will not sit or stand for any Gigi hate.
It's the fact.
What would you be doing? Floating in equilibrium? What was Gigi
deserves it. She's been in NXT for how long already? And it seems like it just gets worse and worse each time I watch her in the ring.
Yeah, but I would almost say the same. If you're not gonna move them up to the main roster, both of them, her and JC, need to go. Unfortunately.
Yeah, JC's time is. She's been down there. I mean, all we got is those sentons this week, and it's kind of the end. Like she was Kevin Owens or somebody, just jumping on somebody.
And then we do get the main event, which is Stephanie Vaquer versus Fallon Henley. Stephanie
Stacey
wins
J
despite
thought she was
multiple
Samoa
interference.
Joe.
Jordan Grace makes a save at the end of the match. How dare Jordan Grace walk into it and think she deserves a title shot? Jada attacks but gets handled as they stare down. And then all the women in the back argue that they want Stephanie next. And then Ava's like, well.
I don't know. What do you want me to do? By the way, Stevie Turner got a promotion.
Who?
Stevie Turner got a promotion this week.
Back to wrestler.
So I turned on Evolve for like 2 minutes and I realized that Ava named her the general manager. That's all Evolved I watch. Stone looked upset being the commentator table.
I have not watched Evolve since the first episode.
Yeah, I put it on and I was like, you know what? I'll try to watch it. And then I put it on. I was like, you know what? Time spent. I go to sleep.
I can't find anywhere Stephanie's places. So if anyone can find a link, send that to me, please.
There's a lot of good wrestling content come out. I believe Dark Side of the Ring came back. Mick Foley getting thrown to cell. You probably know about that. Stephanie places with CM Punk just seems interesting because hate. And I guess you're back. I love. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they've been advertising it all week. And then, all the other LFG and all the other content. But I got AEW beat NXT this week. And I got Raw #1 so far.
Yeah, I enjoyed Raw a lot.
Although we did shit on the build, but still Raw.
No, but the build,
the show it's entirely.
If this episode of Raw happened in August, it'd be the greatest Raw of August of all time. You know how those Raw in July and August they're trash.
Yeah.
But like when it's in WrestleMania season, the build to WrestleMania needs to be important. It just does not feel like anything. Like going into WrestleMania, it feels good.
Yeah.
But I heard something quite interesting. You know how SmackDown has been kind of trashed since it's moved to Fox? No, not to Fox, the USA for 3 hours.
I won't call it trash, but yes, yeah.
You know it's going back to 2 hours in June.
Oh, good.
The problem with this 3-hour show is it's basically elongated the 2 hours of SmackDown. They haven't added anything to it. They've just elongated it and made things a little bit longer. So
yeah.
They're not giving more time to anybody else. They're just stretching out whoever's getting time. I think they desperately need to go back to 2 hours because they are not doing anything with that extra hour. They're not boosting new talent. They're not boosting any other talent. They're not doing anything.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Manny, that concludes this week's show. I gotta take off. Time management did not go well today. It was supposed to be a 30-something minute show. We went to 53 minutes.
We spent 30 minutes on NXT on AEW. A
Sons
show
of
that I
bitches.
barely watched. Just pointing out, people, you got fooled.
Tune in Saturday where we go into deep discussions on all of the topics we have talked about this week. We're going to deep into SmackDown, Raw, and NXT, and LFG Evolved, and shit, and whatever else is going on in the wrestling world. The news story, I'm sure some more news will break, but tune in to Saturday's show where Eric will join us, and who knows what kind of...
I'm not doing the watch along of SmackDown. SmackDown's not that interesting, and I'm not doing it for 3 hours.
Damn! So, Manny is not going to be here this Friday.
Yeah,
His protest.
I'm not doing a SmackDown watch along on Friday. What I will do is a Raw watch along on Monday, because Raw just seems more interesting right now.
It's a shorter show. They keep stuff in there, but this week you get Roman Punk and Seth signing contracts.
Yeah, it's also 3 hours with actual commercial breaks, which are just annoying.
Yeah.
And unless people are actually there, this ain't gonna be a fun watch along. So a toot this week.
Use it correctly in a sentence. All right,
We'll be back on Saturday with Eric.
Yeah, and donate to the show. The link is right here, guys. Works. And it's in the description. It's right here. Donate to the show. Yeah, we'll see you guys. Saturday. Saturday. Peace out.
Some ugly mean mugs on that title belt.
They are. We're some ugly titles, Randy. We got some ugly ass titles. I'd rather be in the other photo.